Hey, I'm Chef Alicia Nicole, and I represent Antigua. So my dad is from Antigua, and my mom is from Detroit, Michigan. And one of the things they wanted to make sure of for me and my sister was that we understood, where we come from and the cultures that we represent. And so, obviously, one of the easiest things to learn about culture is through food. So we would learn about, ginnups. We loved ginnups. And mangoes and all the fruits of the island. Those were early, as kids. But then we got into the beef patties. And of course, every kid loves a beef patty because you get your own. Everybody, you don't have to share it. You get your own beef patty and it's delicious and a little spicy. But it's a treat. So, that's one thing that we really, really loved as kids and is a great intro to Caribbean food. But also another good intro is Ducana dumpling, and that's what I want to show you today. So Ducana dumplings is part of the traditional Antiguan breakfast, and it goes with eggplant and spinach mashed up and saltfish. And so as a kid, eggplant and spinach was not really something that we wanted to get into. And saltfish, we weren't too keen on. I won't say we were picky eaters, but fish just wasn't one of the things that I was into. But Ducana dumpling was a sweet treat, so it was like, heck yeah, I want to try Ducana dumpling. I saw you put sweet potato, I saw you put coconut, I saw you put vanilla and cinnamon in it. And so kids love those sweet things, and they can also help prepare it. You can make it ahead of time and kind of create the Ducana and then boil it later, whenever you need it. So it's a nice little treat. If you have it in your freezer, you boil them away, and now you've got, a nice snack for the kids. So I feel like it's a great little intro into island cuisine. And I'd love for you guys to try the recipe and let your family and friends enjoy it as well. So before I get into the recipe, again, I'm Alicia Nicole, Chef Alicia Nicole. They also call me Foodie Engineer. I have a website called foodieengineer.com, and you can find me on all social media platforms at Foodie Engineer. So enjoy your Ducana dumpling. So using a big bowl, 2 cups of sweet potato, white sweet potato if you can find it, 2 cups of shredded coconut, fresh coconut if you can find it. If not, the sweetened stuff is fine. 2 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, 1.25 cups of sugar. More sugar if you would like, if you have fresh coconut. A tablespoon of vanilla, and a teaspoon each of nutmeg and cinnamon. And we're just going to stir that. Now you can also put raisins in it as well. I might put a few raisins in it, maybe in half of them. To this, you add water until it becomes wet enough to make a patty. So about 1 cup to 2 cups of water, depending on how moist your sweet potatoes are. So I've split it into 2. This is about the consistency you want. Nicely moistened. And I'm going to add raisins to this half. It's another little bit of sweetness. I don't like raisins that much, so we mix that in. And then we go on to the final step. Okay, so typically in the islands they would use like a banana leaf, but here we are in New Jersey. So You take about a half to a cup. It just depends on how big you want them. You know, obviously if they're small kids and they want their own little dumpling, then you make them a little smaller or cut them in half. But you're just going to fold this over so it creates a seam, because what we're going to do is boil them, and you don't want water to get in. You just want them to get steamed. So we fold that over like that, and then we make sure that all the air is out, and you fold that over, and then you do the other end. Real simple. But you want to make sure that it's sealed so the water won't go up. If it does get in, it's really not a big deal as long as it holds its shape. And so you want it tight in there, and that's what you have. So that's going to be our Ducana dumpling packet. I made a little smaller one for, maybe I'll have it for breakfast. Okay, so to prepare saltfish, you have the saltfish. So I boiled that, rinsed out the water, boiled it some more, rinsed it out. So it's not as salty, because you can take the salt out, but you can't really, I mean, you know, and you can add more salt if you need. Tomato paste, onions, red bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, whatever bell pepper, and garlic. And I'm going to get a little bit of Scotch bonnet for a little kick. And those are the ingredients that you need. So the chop up that we call it is simply eggplant and spinach, and you can put other things in it. You can put zucchini in it or squash, whatever you want to call it. You can put pumpkin in it, but simply it's spinach, eggplant, a little bit of salt and pepper. So mom and dad, this is the meal. Kids, this is the dumpling. So you've got your sweet and cinnamony, spicy dumpling with a little bit of raisin in it, your saltfish with bell peppers and onions, and your chop up with spinach and eggplant. The adventurous children will love it, but for sure this dumpling is a great treat. And it's not that difficult for the kids to help with. All right? So again, foodieengineer.com, @foodieengineer on all social media platforms. Thanks a lot. Take care.